where she says, okay, I'm gonna have a little vent here, and I'm gonna come up above, and I might get behind your leg here a little bit. So on the next circle, I just want you to feel like you're pushing it forward just a tad more. Not necessarily going too much faster, but feeling like you've got a little bit more RPM rather than miles per hour. And I really want you focusing on the flexion around the inside leg. Well done. Keep your elbows nice and secure, keep your wrists secure, and I really want you focusing on when she does come up above the bit a little bit, you're quick to say, hey, I want you right here. And it could be 30 seconds and then we can have a walk break. But I want you to focus on consistency, consistency, consistency. Yes.
Okay.
A little more RPM.
Thank you.
That's it, that's it, that's it. Well done. That's okay. And that is that energy getting pushed to the bit. She might try and take it away from you, but you're going to get a couple more consistent moments. Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. I'm just watching out that she doesn't get too low on you there. So we're looking for that, for her to fill the bridle, but staying in the frame that we ideally want. A little more nose out there. So give, take, yep, and push. Give, take, and push. That's it. Give, take, and push. Good. And when you're ready, I want you to take a walk. Now, when we do start adding more energy, the side effect is we get more in our hands. They get more in our hands. And it's sort of what we want with her when she's a little bit here and there with the contact. Let her have a stretch for a minute. And well, I don't mind her being an ounce or two more in your rein right now because of her wanting to be inconsistent. It's like you're going to cut a deal. I'd rather you be a little more in my hand but more steady in the rein than lighter and more inconsistent. That's the deal we're making at this point. Let's have a little play with that to the left. Focus on RPM rather than miles per hour, so it's that feeling of she's a little bit revved under you. Now I know that might trigger her, but let's just play with it and see what we get. Yeah, now focus on consistency for a whole circle. Really focus on it, zone in on it, almost like you're holding her a little bit with your leg towards your hand. Yeah, try and make her that ounce little bit stronger in the connection. And if she does go there, try to be careful that you don't empty it out by saying, hey, get lighter, and then it goes empty. We don't want it to go empty. Like that, like that. Good. And then take another walk break. Push, 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 push. And relax long rein. Those are good moments there. That's what I'm looking for at this point.
Really accurate. It's what the judges are saying. Fussiness in the bridle.
Yeah. And they only get picky with that, the more we step up those levels. But we'll have a little break here. And it's a similar sort of thing what can happen with the Iberian horses. So, for example, I have one at home in training that when it feels right, it doesn't look right. And he's just a little bit round, and he's just a little bit, I'm going to choose my words carefully here, behind the vertical, but he is not necessarily behind the bit. So, those two things are different. Behind the vertical, he can still be pushing into my hand. behind the bit is when they're no longer pushing into my hand. And I don't have anything in my hands. And that we never really want to have. So what I tend to do with this guy, what I have at home is I'll push him a bit more into my hands and have him a little more weight in my rein and have him a little bit more sturdy in my hand and then fine tune that. But it's really hard because if I start to say to him, hey, you know, soften up, straight away he gets too light and then he might try and get behind the vertical. So I've got to be careful, and she's a similar type. And the neck, again, the conformation all comes into it. These Iberians are similar neck to the Iberians, and they're naturally round. So it's very easy to go that centimeter rounder than what's politically correct.
And I think it's my fault, too, also, because I have so many warm bloods and other things I ride, and I like them to be light.
Yeah.
So I think I need to concentrate more on pushing them.
Especially because you're in the show ring as well, you know, because that is where we sometimes have a fight with ourselves, because what they want to see doesn't always feel what, you know, you would like it to feel like. The amount of times I've come out of a show ring and I've gave the judges what they want, I got a 70, but I said, he didn't feel that great in there, you know? And I've come out the ring sometimes and said, he felt absolutely amazing, but judges didn't like it, you know? Okay, so from this point, I mean, we haven't done anything laterally or anything like that. Should we go towards that now and then start thinking about canter, or should we start thinking about canter now?
No, I'd love to do the lateral one.
Okay, so let's put ourselves on some typical box standard situations, little bit of leg yielding, wherever you can. That can be quarter line to the track, that could be on a circle, make it bigger. Whatever you want. I'm just going to watch a little bit you playing with the idea of a leg yield.
It'll take her a minute. But
That's fine, yep. So get back a little bit to the trot that you had a second ago. And think of it as stepping stones. So we're not... Even though I just said, okay, let's talk about leg yields, I want what I wanted just a minute ago, and then leg yield. I agree with you, yeah. She's, you know, you're putting your leg on, you're saying go to my hand, and she's getting a little bit like, I don't want to be there. So you're going to have to play that little bit of tough love with a couple of more clear half halts right now and just say, hey, be round, you're old enough to know now. I like that. Okay, keep pushing there. Keep saying we're going, and then she's got to figure out the frame in that go, in that power. And it will feel like there's a little bit more in your hands. I'm expecting that. And it is one of the most contradicting things for the horses to learn. When we add power, we're technically talking about strength. Put more strength into the gait. And that's got to go somewhere. It's going to go to the front of the horse, which is what we want. We want the hind legs to push energy towards the front. And then we've got to fine-tune that strength and power and impulsion, which is really the word for it. Now I want you to go into a 15-meter circle to the right in that corner that you're in right now. I want to see bend to the right. That's okay, you're doing great. Sit up, look up, bend right, flexion right. Now the reason why I wanted to get soft on that right rein, or soft there, is because when you leg yield off the wall, you're leg yielding towards that right hand. So she's got to be accepting that right hand now. So this circle here is where you say, Hey girl, this right rein is going to become my new outside rein when I leg yield off the wall. So she's got to be listening to that flexion right now. And ready and willing to take the power and accept the power that's going to come off your outside leg. When you feel on that circle she's accepting your right rein more, then slowly go back to the wall and do the leg yield off the wall. Yep. You're doing good. Keep the same rules. Like, my right rein has got to get softer. Aha. And then the hard part is going to be when you transition the neck a little bit to the left for the leg yield. Well done, well done, well done. Better, better, better. Circle in this top right corner, in this top corner here, CM corner. Same again. She's letting off a bit of tension now, that's good. She's, you know, she's going to have an opinion about some of the stuff that we're doing this weekend, for sure. And make your right leg a little more snug on her right side. Make your right leg a little more snug on her right side. Aha. Acceptance of the aids. Well done. Acceptance of the aids. Good job. Now slow down a little bit and press with your right leg and keep bending to the right a little bit. Think about her right eyelash, her right ear, her right nostril on the right, and snug with your right leg and bending right. Your right shoulder back. Keep asking for that. That's great. Keep asking for that. Yes. Accept my inside aids here. Well done. Good for you. Let's give her a little walk break. Yeah, you're right. Keep pushing there. Keep pushing there. And have a break.
There is so much power in this horse.
Yeah.
I think I'm being bamboozled about what you can do.
I think sometimes what you might be doing is saying, Alex, I'll take, you know, quiet and light, instead of, you know, saying, hey, use yourself underneath me, push more to my hand, because that creates confrontation with her. And we're all trying to avoid confrontation, you know, anything for a smooth ride. But she's at that point where she's got to take it a bit now, especially when now we're talking first level. Good, give her a stretch, make friends, and then we'll come back to it.
Oh my god, this is good.
I know it is. There's a, if you don't want to drink that Mondo thing, there's a cup for you there.
Oh, I know this is great.
Another thing I struggle with on this one, as little as she is an extra wide tree. So I have a little trouble with the twist in the saddle. As much as the saddle was made just for me, I don't ever ride the wide ones as well as I ride narrow ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So I feel like I'm always trying to touch base with where my body is.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, where am I? You know.
And she tends to try and push a little bit to the right, so that saddle tends to shift a little bit to the right as well. Just check your girth is nice and snug.
Have somebody come in and snug it up a little bit.
I can do it.
Yeah, that's another thing. You gotta kind of ride this one a little bit and then do it.
And then do it, yeah.
Yeah, she can be
we're going to do now is we're going to pick her up a little bit. Come on now. Now, all we're going to focus on right now in the walk is some little smaller 10-meter circles, voltes in and out. Can I put my legs on? Can I tickle her behind the saddle a little bit? Can I bend her left and right? That's all we're doing right now. Good for you. And you know, I always think about when we do have lightness and they're inconsistent in the connection, it's sort of an unholy deal, you know? Yeah, good, Judy. This is great for her. Well done. Okay, when you're ready, let's go back to the trot. And I want you just thinking straight away, like the idea of a leg yield on the circle. Make it a big 20 meter, make it another 20 meters to the right. Sort of like, just say, let's accept this left leg, let's accept this inside flexion, and your right brain is going to be saying, I'm catching you on this outside. I can definitely tell you, she is less wiggly than I last saw her. She's less falling out than I last saw her. What we're dealing with now is us saying, okay, you know, she's got to up her game a bit. She's got to put a bit more effort in. That's what we're dealing with now. She's definitely more in between you, but now we're looking at a different acceptance of the aids with a more powerful gait. And what is hard for her is when you think about the flexion in the body, because she's so small and compact. This is already better, by the way. This is already looking better. But because she's so small and compact, when we get the flexion in the body, she tends to move herself. The whole body moves. And I'm looking for that curvature a little more. So you're looking at like a really down, deep leg on the side of her barrel. Feel like she flexes right behind her elbow, right at the girth. Well done. And I want you to think about a leg yield to the outside, and we're going to have the transition to the walk. You're going to keep that leg yield idea. She's going to hate it. She's going to hate it. But I want you to think leg yielding out and through into the walk.
You want leg yield out on the circle?
Yep.
Oh,
So
okay.
almost pick like a smaller circle first, and then think I'm going to leg yield out, and put yourself a little to the left of the saddle so that no one's falling out. And the hard part about this is you have to keep her pushing all the way to that last step. And walking, marching. Can we bend left a little bit? Check it out. Can we bend right a little bit? Check it out. Well done. Get ready for the transition to trot. So before you do, put your legs on and just say, what happens when I close my leg here? Does she want to get softer into the hand and push into it? Does she want to take the rein away from me? That's how you know, or you can secure yourself of the transition. Is she going to lift her spine up into my seat? Well done. Good. Change rein for me. Go large as you change rein. Let's go on to the following quarter line. Leg yield to the outside. Now, if you're coming onto that quarter line and she's starting to give you a hard time, you circle to the right. And you say, accept my right bend, please. And accept my right leg, please. Yes. Now, play with the leg yield right now. Because this is what's going to be doing the leg yield on the quarter line. She's got to live it, breathe it now. And then you just extend it. And if she gives you a hard time halfway through, you're going to decide either to keep it going, can I work through this, or if she throws in the towel, like there's not enough power there in that top. Yep. And pushing. Big circle again. Just get that energy again before we do the next one. She's behind you. Thank you. Yes, yes. Exactly. Exactly. Good. And off you go again. Well done. One more circle. We'll have a walk break after this. Just get her familiar with this little bit more of a powerful gait. She's a talented mare. She's got quality. We're not going to sacrifice it. Well done. Well done. Yes. Yes. Good for you. Take a walk break when you're ready. You're going to say, my leg's going to be here until we're walking, yeah? Yep, she's like, let me off the hook here. And relax, give her a break, make friends again. This is what you're saying to her, nothing personal, all good. It's just part of growing up.
So many opinions. The amount of power that you're putting in, I think if you sat on her, it's like it already feels like there's so much power that you're putting over, and I'm like, it feels like constant lengthening.
This is when you're riding something with some quality to it, that is the feeling, because what she's given you already is quite a nice feeling. And when you add the power in, all of a sudden you're like, it wasn't good enough. You know?
That's how it feels. That's what it feels like. She's like, all right, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And it's just the way we've been pansy-assing around, we've been getting 70s. So it's like...
Exactly. It's being good enough. It's being good enough to pull off the 70s. And that is the thing. Like, she can look pretty half-assed trying. Now the idea is that at this point you're saying to her, energy is coming through a little bit as more forward at this point. Eventually that will be, I would like more energy, stay in the same tempo, you know? And that is a conversation that's the next step. That's the next step after this. At this point she's just going to accept you saying, we'd like to talk about more power, please. And then, can we bring that power back? Can we harness it? Contain it a bit? That's a whole nother thing. That's another subject, and that'll be when she's, again, a little more stronger, a little more mature, blah, blah, blah. And that's eventually how we have horses, passage, piaffe. It's the ultimate form of energy, but it's not really going somewhere fast. And that's another conversation that is very difficult to have with the horses, because they've only associated energy as forward until then. Okay, let's have a little talk about canter now. Now the thing about this now, we have, you know, she's not necessarily upset, she's just got opinions, that's all, when you're talking about it to her. So It's not that she's wound up right now. You have quite a relaxed horse right now. But when you talk about these things to her, she has opinions. So you might get a little bit of backlash when you think about the canter. And if you already know what to do when she takes over way too much, and you can do that, that's not a problem. But I'm going to let you just organize now the canter, and I'll take a look. I'm not going to say a lot right now.
I think I really, really need to know where this canter should be. That my confusion is the tempo,
Yeah.
size. That's where I'm having problems. It feels like I'm running. I just don't feel in any kind of control whatsoever in this canter.
Yeah.
Again, she's scoring 7s and 8s on the canter. I'm confused by the ride altogether.
Yeah.
Almost got a counter canter there.
Mm-hmm. When you're ready, I want you to just come back down again for me. Well done. And lean back a little bit in this canter. That's a transition there, good job. I want you to go again into the left. If you want to get on, you can, that's not a problem. I'll just put this mount over there so you can... Yeah. That's better. Now get it straighter on the outside. Good. Now rock this back a bit more. Just think, like, tip yourself back. Make her wait for you a little bit. From the right rein, legs on. Watch your legs on. Drifting away from her there. And get her really on that outside rein. Really on it. Really on it. I don't mind a little counter flush. I don't mind left leg on here. Sit back. She's starting to run. Yep. This is where it's going to get tough right here. Okay. And when you're ready, organize the trot. I like the tempo here a little better. I know she's being fussy. I know she's trying to do a few things. But the tempo itself is a little more slower. But the shoulders are a little more up. I can understand why you sometimes feel like you're running, and I can understand that. It's a different ball game with the canter than the trot with her. Take a walk. First off, the canter is more consistent than ever before. It's actually more consistent than the trot. I quite like the canter. Where you were riding it, I would just say I want it to be a little more on its butt, a little more up in the shoulder, and a tiny bit slower. I could get how you say sometimes you feel like you're running. Understand that? And whereas in the trot we're saying go forward, translate that a little bit into a forward feeling. The canter, I don't want miles per hour to increase at all when you are asking for power, because that will make it feel and look running. I want to go back to it, but in general I want her accepting you again a better, more on the outside rein, more wrapped around the inside leg. Everything that you're doing, upping its game of that.
Do you want the same side or the other?
Let's go to the right.
What we're judge about, except it was like 50 times worse.
Yeah.
Like she could not bend right that day.
Yeah.
And so this might still be a little bit, because usually it's a little lighter. Not usually this much fussing on this side.
On this side, yep.
Yeah. It's getting better through the lesson, but no, that was what my grievance was last Sunday.
Yeah.
And I can still feel her taking a left flexion. I can still feel that her neck has not flipped. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Let me just flip her neck.
See, I like the ground cover here. Yeah, and I agree. She's got to be off the right rein a little more, through the flexion and into that left rein more. And that is from your right leg as well. Good girl. Well done. Better, Judy. Well done. Yes. Good. When you feel ready for it, you have your right lead. Now you've got to feel like that left rein is saying to him, can you go lower? And does it feel like it can keep her there?
Oh my gosh, okay. Oh. What a mess.
You got it this time. Well done. Good. Make sure the circle is your circle. Make sure she's stepping around your inside eights every single stride. Make sure she's getting into that left rein. Put your left thumb up to the sky. So just tilt your thumb up and say to her, take off the right rein and press over into that left connection. Yeah, she's always trying to cut the circle smaller going to the right. More weight on the outside legs. Think about that. Here she's got to carry more weight on the outside eights. Yes. Yes. More perpendicular to the ground. Through that right leg. Especially here.
I didn't understand that.
Okay, so when she's going to the right, what I see is that little bit of a leaning thing to the right where she just wants to lean on that right side. So you're saying to her, really get off my right leg, and when you look at the video, you'll see that she's not really taking weight on the outside. She's like this. And it's not like taking the weight in a good way on the inside. It's like the leaning to the inside. And she's always trying to make that circle smaller on the right. I want you to think, can I make it bigger through my right leg? And as much as you tell her to get off your right rein, you've got to be saying, get in my left. Aha! Now we're taking weight on 4 legs. Good. Keep that weight on 4 legs. Almost think of your left seat bone heavy. And that sounds weird because it's your outside, but she wants to fall right. So you're going to be thinking left heel down, left seat bone heavy, right leg push over, left rein connect. Now you're talking. Good. 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 Well done. Now you're balancing here. When you're ready, you can organize that trot. Think of it the same, like the left aids are going to take more. The left legs are going to take more weight. Think of the left rein taking her down to the trot. And as soon as you're trotting, you're moving off that right leg. Moving off, moving off, moving off. Yeah, ha. Good. Good. Ah, well done. And when you're ready, have the walk. Good. So, all the things that you're dealing with here are typical sort of like, what is she, 7 now? 6? 7? These are typical 7-year-old things. And you're looking for more out of her now. And in order for her to give more, she's got to accept more.
Yes. I love her. She is innocent.
The quality though is really good. And when I tell you that feeling with the gates, because she's got quality in it, it will feel enough. And then all of a sudden when you ask for more, it backfires because it's always been enough what she's gave.
Yeah, and they lose their balance when you do that.
Yeah.
They gotta be used to that.
Yeah, that little shift of power, then all of a sudden they're trying to find their legs again, they're trying to find their body again. And going to the right there, just started to see her starting to take more weight on the outside. The video will be great for you to watch because it's something that we don't always feel. I mean, you know it's happening, but you won't see it, what's happening until that last part there on the canter right. Like, her hips were level, her shoulders were level.
She could stay for a month.
She is the type though, like now I feel like we could, you know, get started.
Of course, yeah. Well, I can do more warm-up tomorrow. I'll just warm up longer.
That would be great.
And then that way...
Get a couple of little arguments out the way.
But, you know, I did want you to see this.
Yeah,
It was
I'm
like-
glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. And it validates, you know, the whole idea of like first level is on the horizon. You can just coast through it, but at home it's got to get a little bit messy.
Yeah, I usually do just close to it. That's what I did. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay. I have to admit, first level's my best level. I always like whip through it with everybody and get 70s and go to second.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys.
But yeah, taking all that into account, she's definitely a million miles from last time, for sure.
Yeah. See how she does tomorrow. All set with me?
Yes.